How do you unfuck your life in 2025? Well, this is a very interesting topic and conversation. But before I get into it, make sure you smash the subscribe button to be notified the next time that I post, and make sure you hit the like button. Now, my name is Willie, and I'm the host of the Level Up podcast. And today on the podcast, we're going to talk about how do you unfuck your life in 2025, because the reality of it is, I know a lot of people who they're in a bit of a hole, they're in a bit of a predicament. Now, whether that be financially, whether that be with their health or relationship, they're in a bit of a hole. Now, how do you get out of that hole? One thing I like to say is that you take one thing at a time. You see, if you try to chase, 3 rabbits at once, chances are you won't catch all 3 of them. But if you focus on catching one of them, then there's a strong possibility you can catch another one, and then the other one. So you focus one at a time. So let's talk about how you can get from wherever you are right now to where you want to be in 2025. Number 1 is you got to make more money. You see, a little bit of greenery changes every scenery. So you have to be making more money. That's one of the number 1 reasons to get out of the hole that you're in. Now, a lot of people don't like to talk about finances. Whenever it comes to talking about money, it's a little bit of an uncomfortable conversation. But the reality of it is, where you are is not necessarily where you're going to end up. So wherever you are right now, don't feel horrible like I'm a very bad person. You know what? Actually, you should feel bad. It's actually good. Because when you feel bad, pain normally fuels change, right? If you don't feel bad about where you are, you're not likely to change. So it's okay. Go ahead and feel bad that you are broke right now. But I want you to feel bad, but use that as motivation to get your money up, to make more money. Now, for me, how did I get my money up? When I came to this country in 2013, I tried everything under the sun to make more money. And what I realized is that it was just tough. I tried everything. Amazon FBA, drop shipping, buying and selling cars, trading, Bitcoin. Man, if it was legal, I did it. Okay? If it was illegal, I had a look. What I want you to do, I want you guys to focus on and getting your money up. Now, for me, in today's world, I don't see an easier way to make money than in property. Now, property has got multiple different things within property that you can do to make money. A lot of people think property is saving money, buying a house, and putting tenants in there. That is one way of making money, and that's a very old-fashioned way of making money. In today's world, there's a lot more creative ways of making money. Like, for example, you can do deal sourcing. So if you're somebody who you sell things, you sell items, you sell products, you can do deal sourcing. All you do is you just change the product. Rather than sell what you're selling now, how about you sell a lucrative property deal to an investor and get paid free all the way up to 5 and 6 figures per transaction? That's something called deal sourcing. There's something called rent to rent, where you can find a property from a landlord or an agent and re-rent it out for higher rent. You can buy a property with one pot of cash, refurbish it, refinance it, pull all of your money, which means you use the same pot of cash to buy multiple houses. Or if you got a lot of money sitting in there, you can go up to West Yorkshire and you can buy houses with as low as £20,000. There are loads of different strategies within property to make a lot of money. So if you're looking for a way to get your money up, number 1 is property. The second thing that you need to do to earn yourself is making money is one thing, but keeping money is a completely different skill. If you want to get financially ahead, you can't just focus on making money. You need to learn how to keep the money. Now, what do I mean by keep the money? I don't mean keep the money in your bank account. In fact, that's one of the worst advice that I can give you. I don't do that, because you put money in your account, what happens is the money loses value every single day. And if you know about investing, keeping the money in your account and for the bank to give you next 0.01%, when you can successfully use that money to gain 10, 15, 20%, you're losing money by keeping money in your account. What do I mean by keeping the money? I mean that when you make money, and to be fair, that's something that I struggle with majority of my life. Property is what really got me to change this, and I'll tell you how and I'll tell you why. See, I used to make money, and the more money I used to make, guess what happened? I still end up used to live paycheck to paycheck. I remember in St. Lucia, I used to work in a job and I used to get paid around $40 a day, probably about 10, 11, 12 pounds. Throughout the years, I obviously upgraded the jobs that I've come to the UK, and I was working on minimum wage, 12 grand a year, you know, to gain 20 grand a year, 30 grand a year, 40 grand a year, 50 grand a year, 60 grand a year. Even when I got to 100 grand a year, the reality of it is I was still living paycheck to paycheck. Because the more money I made, what happened is I just upgraded my life, which means my expenses got higher. So I still was not saving any money, which is no good thing to do. But most importantly, I wasn't keeping the money. So when I came across property investing, you see what property has obviously helped me to do. If you are somebody who you make money and the money leaves your account the same way every month, right? You get paid, whatever you get paid, by the end of the month, the money still finds a way to go back down to zero or near zero. One of the ways you can get out of that is continue having your account the same way, but rather than be spending the money, invest it. So property has allowed me to do that. So now when I make money, you know what I do? I just put it into property. I just buy a house. I buy a piece of land abroad. I buy a piece of land in St. Lucia. You know, I buy something that's gonna make me more money. I buy an asset. Because it's not about the amount of money that you make, it's about the amount of money that you can keep. Property is one of the best ways to keep money, because the value of the houses of the land, it normally 99.9% only goes up. Now, if you haven't got a lot of like tens of thousands of pounds and you have 5 grand, guess what happened? You can put that 5,000 pounds into something called a rent to rent. You can rent a flat out and you can just stick it on different platforms. You can use different things. You can work with the council and do social housing. You can put tenants in there room by room. You can do night by night basis. You can start off with 5 grand. Rather than be spending that 5 grand on holiday or trainers, maybe number one, first things first, invest in yourself. Learn how to make more money. Then invest it into a property. It eventually will get your money up. Now, the third thing I'm going to give you to all mess up your life this year, number one, you need to make more money. Number two, you need to learn how to keep and grow that money. But most importantly, you need to know how to do it, isn't it? Because if you knew how to do those two things, you probably would have got there already. So what do you need? You need somebody who's done it. You need somebody who has done that already. Somebody who's walked the walk and they can show you the footprints in the snow. You need someone to hold your hand and coach you and mentor you on how to make more money and also keep and grow more money, your money. And that vehicle is property. That's what's done all of that for me. And I've been doing this over the last 5 years. I've helped a plethora of students get started in property, but most importantly, tens and tens of students become financially free. So if you want to find a mentor to coach you on how to make more money, how to grow your money, and you want someone who's been there and done it, hit the link around this video. Drop me a DM, come to an event, come and learn how you can do this as well. But that's the number one way in which you can unfuck your life in 2025. You need to make more money, you need to grow your money, and you need someone to hold your hand and teach you how to do it. You need a mentor. That's how you get there as quickly as possible. I hope you guys found this video very entertaining, very enticing. Make sure you like this video, make sure you subscribe, and most importantly, make sure you share this video. Peace out, guys. Have a good day. See you later.